morning, lovies. Are you having a good morning? Morah Lora is so happy to be with you this morning. Let's start. If yesterday was a Wednesday, then today is Thursday, and tomorrow will be good job, Friday. What month is it that starts with Ma and ends with Arch? March. Good job. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Whew. That was a lot of counting, wasn't it? So today is Thursday, March 25, 2020. Weather watcher lovies, please tell me the weather, tell me the weather. Weather watcher lovies, please tell me the weather. What's the weather? Is it a lion day? Is it a lamb day? Is it rainy? Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? You tell me. I'm waiting. All right, let's start. We've been learning about Passover. And Passover means what? To pass over, because God passed over the Jewish people when he gave the Egyptians punishments, right? A long, long time ago in the land of where? Good job. Egypt lived a king. His name was Pharaoh. Was he a good king? No. Who was he mean to? That's right, the Jewish people. He made the Jewish people into slaves. What does it mean to be a slave? Do you get paid when you work as a slave? Mm-mm. Can you rest whenever you want to? No. Who do you need to listen to? Your master or your boss. That's right, your master or your boss. You cannot take a rest whenever you want to. Well, King Pharaoh was very mean to the Jewish people. He made the Jewish people build those triangle buildings. Do you remember what they're called? Those big triangle buildings made out of brick? Good job, pyramids. He made them build pyramids. And while they were building pyramids out of bricks, they sang, bang, 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 hold your hammer low. Bang, 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 give a mighty blow. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. Dig, 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 dig your shovels deep. Dig, 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 there's no time to sleep. For it's work, 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 every day and every night. For it's work, 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 when it's dark and when it's light. So, King Pharaoh was especially mean to whom? To the Jewish babies. One Jewish mother did not want her baby to suffer and disappear. So she put him in a basket and put him in the Nile River. Guys, where's the Nile River located? Is it in New Jersey? Is it in California? Is it in New York? Or is it in Egypt? That's right, it's in Egypt. So the mommy put her baby in a basket and she put him in the Nile River. And the princess came bathing in the river and she heard the baby. How did she hear the baby? What did the baby do? That's right, he cried. So she stretched out her arm and she pulled the basket out of the river. Do you remember what she called the baby? What did she call the baby? Moses. What does Moses mean? Do you remember? To pull out of the river. Good job. She called him Moses and she became his mommy. As Moses grew up, He became a very strong and good man. But he didn't like a country where they had slaves and they were mean to the Jewish people, to the slaves. So he ran away from Egypt to a faraway land and he became a shepherd. What does it mean to be a shepherd? Who do you take care of? That's right, sheep. He became a shepherd. And as he was walking, taking care of his sheep, what did he see, guys? That's right, a burning bush. Was the bush on fire? Yes. Was it burning? No. And whose voice came out from the bush? That's right, God's. What did God tell Moses to do? Very good. Very good. Take off your shoes. Why did God tell Moses to take off his shoes? Because what was about that land he was standing on? Very good. It was special and holy. God said, the land you are standing on is very special and holy. Take off your shoes. After Moses took off his shoes, God said to him, listen, Moses, you're a smart man. You're a very kind man. I want you to go back. You're going to be my spokesman. You're going to speak for me. I want you to go back to Egypt and tell King Pharaoh, let my people go. So Moses went back to Egypt and went to King Pharaoh and he said, oh, listen, oh, listen, oh, listen, King Pharaoh. Oh, listen, oh, listen. Please let my people go. They work too hard all day. They want to go away. King Pharaoh, what do you say? What did King Pharaoh say? Did he say yes? That's right. He said no. No, no, no. I will not let them go. No, no, no. I will not let them go. So Moses went back to his other land and he said, God, King Pharaoh does not want to listen. Well, God said, Moses, go back to Egypt, and tell King Pharaoh that if he does not let my Jewish people go, I will punish him. So Moses went back to King Pharaoh and said, King Pharaoh, if you do not listen to God, God is going to punish you. Who is this God? Do I know him? Who cares what God says? I don't want to listen to him, and I'm not scared of his hocus pocus. Well, God was very angry because King Pharaoh didn't want to let the Jewish people go. So he punished the Egyptians. The first punishment. Do you remember what the first punishment was? That's right. Good job. Blood. Blood. As the Egyptian people were bathing in the river or drinking water, the water turned to blood. But did the Jewish people have blood? No. The Jewish people could drink water and it stayed water. The Jewish people could swim. The Jewish people could bathe and the water stayed water. The second punishment was, what are these things? Good job, frogs. One morning when Pharaoh awoke in his bed, there were frogs on his bed and frogs on his head. Frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Frogs here, frogs there. Frogs were jumping everywhere. But King Pharaoh still did not want the Jewish people, did not want to let the Jewish people go. The third punishment was these yucky little, tiny little bugs that made you itch and you had to scratch. Ow! Ah! Oh! 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 And after each punishment, what did King Pharaoh say? Okay, Moses, okay, I will let the Jewish people go. Please stop the punishment. But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind. Just like that. The fourth punishment was wild beasts. They came roaring into the Egyptians' houses. They made such a racket that the Egyptian people said, "Oh, we're scared. Oh." And King Pharaoh said, "Okay, Moses, this time I promise I will let the Jewish people go. Please stop the punishment." But as soon as the punishment was over, what did King Pharaoh do? Good job. He changed his mind. Just like that. The fifth punishment was sick cows, sheep, goats. They went moo, moo, moo. And what happens when you don't have cows and sheep and goats? Can you get milk? No! Morah Lora loves milk, and I love dipping cookies in the milk. And if you don't have milk, you can't have what? Yogurt and cheese and ice cream and mac and cheese. And Morah Lora loves all of those things, just as I know you do. Who loves ice cream? Me. Who loves yogurt? Me. Me. I love those things, right? The sixth punishment was big, painful blisters all over their skin. They had blisters all over. They couldn't lean. They couldn't sit. They couldn't lay back. They couldn't stand on their feet. Everywhere they tried to sit or stand, it hurt. And every time King Pharaoh said, "Okay, Moses, I promise you, this time seriously, I promise, pinky promise." But as soon as the punishment was over, what happened to King Pharaoh? He changed his mind, just like that. The seventh punishment was big, humongous ice balls that came falling from the sky. And it hurt their head and their shoulders and their knees and their tushies and their backs. And they went, "Ow! Ow! It hurts! It hurts!" But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind, just like that. The eighth punishment was big bugs, locusts. Do you remember this? What Morah Lora said about this bug? That it's kosher. Good job. Look at these big bugs. They came and they ate all the food and the strawberries and the blueberries and the raspberries and the blackberries and the apples and peaches and grapes. And the Egyptian people didn't have any food left. And again, King Pharaoh said, "Moses, I promise you, seriously, I will let the Jewish people go." But as soon as the punishment was over, he changed his mind, just like that. The ninth punishment was darkness. People couldn't see. They were stuck. Hey, where did you go? Lovies, come back. Where are you? Hey, who's this? Oh, wait a minute. That's me. Hey, lovies, I need you. I can't be without my lovies. Hey. Oh, whew. This is so much better. My lovies are back. Oh, I missed you. Where did you go? Did you hide from me? Hey, this is not hide and seek, you know. This is a story, you silly bunziks. That 10th punishment was where all the babies disappeared. The mommies cried and the babies went, "Where are my babies? I want my baby back." Morah Lora loves her babies. I love my babies. I love being a mommy. And I love being a Morah to you guys, because you're my lovies, right? I love my lovies. Well, after the 10th punishment, finally King Pharaoh said, "Moses, this time I am not kidding. Get out of my land before I change my mind," just like that. Well, the Jewish people didn't have time to bake bread, because you need to wait until the bread gets fluffy and puffy, right? They didn't have time. So they had to leave in a hurry. They were wearing their clothes. They took the dough, they put it on their shoulders, and the hot sun turned it into what? Good job, matzah. And that's why we eat matzah on Passover. No time to linger, get out of bed. Put on your sandals, cover your head. Tie up the blanket, hold sister's hand. Let's follow Moses to the promised land. Out, out of Egypt to be free. Out, out of Egypt to be free. They left in a hurry with the dough on their backs, and the hot sun turned it into matzah. They came to the Sea of Reeds, and what happened? Who was behind them? Good job, the Egyptians. On the sides, they couldn't leave. In the front was the Sea of Reeds. What miracle happened, guys? Do you remember? What happened? The sea split open, and the Jewish people passed on dry land. Very good. I want you to put on your thinking cap. Think, think, think. If you had to leave in a hurry, what would you take? Think about it. What would you take? Morah Lora will take a Torah, and I will take some food with me and money in the hope that wherever I'm going, I'll be able to buy food. And I'll take my family. That's what I will take. But you tell me, you think about it, and you tell me, what would you take if you had to leave in a hurry? All right. We have 2 paperworks. For Passover, we need to clean the house of all the chametz. Chametz are all the foods made with flour, because we're only allowed to eat matzah. So we need to make sure there are no crumbs anywhere. We need to clean the house very well. Well, today we're doing 2 paperworks, and Morah Lora is feeling blue. That's why I'm wearing blue. So I have a blue crayon. You can choose whatever color you want. Morah Lora chose blue. The first thing we do on the paper is write our name. Then we have a paper. You need to sort and see where everything goes, because we need to clean the house for Passover, right? So do you think the hammer goes in the basket with the balls? The hammer goes in the tool basket? Or does the hammer goes in the toaster? Good job. The hammer goes in the tool basket. Very good. Does the bread go in the basket with the balls? Or does the bread go in the toaster? Good job. In the toaster. Does the ball go in the toaster, the toolbox, or the basket with the balls? Good job. The basket with the balls. Very good. All right. The next paper. We write our name. And then we have some items. And again, you need to sort out and put the things where they belong. Because remember, what do we need to do for Passover? Clean our house. Does the bucket and shovel go in a sandbox, in the sink, or in the refrigerator? Silly bunzik. Basket and shovel doesn't go in the refrigerator. It goes in the sandbox. Good job. Does the milk go in the sink, in the refrigerator, or in the sandbox? In the sink? You silly bunziks. No. The milk goes in the, good job, refrigerator. Does the toothbrush go in the refrigerator, the sink, or the sandbox? Good job, in the sink, because you brush your teeth in the sink. You don't brush your teeth in the refrigerator or in the sandbox. You silly bunziks. Morah Lora is a silly bunzik. Very good. And then the other 2 papers, remember we're making a Passover booklet, right? You're going to color 2 more pages of your Passover booklet. This one says, Seder plate, Seder plate. Who remembers? What does Seder mean? Seder means order. Good job. It means order. Seder plate, Seder plate. What do you see? So this is what you're going to color. And the other paper is salt water. Salt water. What do you see? Because at the Seder, we use salt water because the Jewish people what? To remind us of the Jewish people's tears, we dip 2 vegetables in the salt water. So these are the 2 papers you're gonna color. Good job. Are you being good listeners? Good job. Are you good for mommies and daddies? That's exactly what I want to hear. I love you, my lovies.